Hey everybody, this is Alex Dixon with Group 1 Week 8. I am the moderator for our group this week. Um, so go easy on me. I'm also extremely exhausted. But anyway, uh, our first question was using a relevant topic of interest to you. Describe how a public meeting would be structured for each step in the ladder of citizen participation. How would people find out about the issue? How would they be allowed or encouraged to participate? What power would they have to affect the issue? Um, The first response I listened to was Christie's. I thought it was a very interesting response, which, oh, by the way, I had the headphones because I want to be like DJ Christy Crisp. And anyway, I thought it was really interesting because I actually heard yesterday on our local radio that that Louisville is planning to do the exact same type of program with the trash cans. And I'm actually interested to see how it worked out for your city, Christy. You. Um, anyway, she related this question to her experience, and she helped form a citywide recycling program where people were given larger recycling containers and smaller trash containers. And apparently, the biggest problem was that the city council had received zero city input. I'm sorry, not city input, citizen input, and they were looking at the situation from a fiscal standpoint rather than how it can improve the community. Um, Her responsibility in all this was to ensure that the citizens committee that was constructed came out with the same platform that her office, I'm guessing, had already presented. And this was a challenge because she had to do this in a way that didn't appear as though she were manipulating them. So she was on the bottom rung. I actually thought this was kind of interesting because just from the outside looking in, I didn't really see this as manipulating. And if it was, maybe my definition of leadership is a little off, but I kind of feel like this is, you are empowering people, which to me is a big key of leadership. But I guess, since the committee was made up of friends and associates of the city council, yeah, that kind of did make it seem like manipulating. Um, but I just thought that was really interesting. I thought she had brought up a few good points. Um, and then I listened to Brittany's response on this, and she related it to domestic violence in the military, um, in that soldiers that experience PTSD don't know how to integrate back into society when they come back from Afghanistan, Iraq, or wherever they are. I can totally relate to this because not only am I a Purple Heart veteran, but I also suffer from PTSD. It's nowhere near as bad as it was back in 2005 when I got back from Iraq during my second tour. But I totally understand where she's coming from and where the soldiers are coming from. I really agree that there doesn't seem to be many resources for the wives and children of soldiers. It's very, very unfortunate, especially for the children. Um, Not that they experience a lot of the violence that she outlined, but because they don't really know the people that are coming back. I mean, you're gone for a year, some people 18 months, and you come back and you have to get reacquainted with your children, and they have to get reacquainted with you. Um, I also agree with her response that many of the military companies and battalions, um, they don't really have the greatest attitude towards PTSD or even suicide prevention, which is something I'm really big on. They do just hand out pamphlets or brochures that they're required to hand out and say, okay, here, if you need help, just call this number, go talk to this person, and it'll be a-okay, and that's it. That's the end of it. There are some units out there that offer a lot of support and um, that take really good care of their soldiers. But as far as being programmed for violence, pretty much, I agree with that too. Luckily, I was in a job where after basic training, I really wasn't programmed for violence. I was programmed to be a ghost, pretty much. And if you were getting shot at or blown up, you weren't really doing your job correctly, is what they pretty much taught us. So even now, I am, for no reason whatsoever, I will just walk to the window and just kind of peek out. And it's not really, I guess it's a very low level paranoia that I still have. Um, but Yeah, I totally agree with everything that she said, and the people that are on the lower rungs of the ladder of citizen participation really, it seems like they just don't care about domestic violence. Our group question um, was, according to Serrano Garcia and you, what is the relationship between social change, empowerment, and scientific inquiry? Well, Christy's take on this was that there will always be some level of intervention in research methods, and that you have to recognize what's important. Um, I agree with that. That's kind of along the lines with what I talked about and with what Brittany actually talked about in her video. Um, I'm kind of in the same boat as Brittany. Until recently, I didn't really associate social change and empowerment with scientific inquiry. I guess it's because when you're in high school and even like undergrad programs, you are, taught here is scientific method, and this is the way you should do things, and that's it. There really is no, you have to interact with the people you're researching or the situation you're researching, and you have to look for ways to improve it or empower the people that you're researching. So that's something that I found really interesting this week, and it's also something that I'm really looking forward to for future classes, is looking for ways to empower those that I'm researching or situations that I'm researching. So that is my response for this week. Hopefully I did good. I feel like it's kind of fragmented. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm running off of like 3 hours of sleep. I still feel awful. But next week's response is going to be awesome. I feel it. Um, but yeah, that's it. All right, thank you.